Yo, we're here. I don't know. I think it's podcast
Yo,
number 10, right? It's 10?
Yeah.
I mean, dude, Liv and PGA,
Whoa.
what's going on?
Out of left field, out of nowhere,
Like,
too.
it's like one of those things where, did we just become best friends? Let's do karate in the
I
garage.
think so.
I mean, like, literally. I'm waiting for boats and hoes. They're going to be riding ships
So
with
you can't touch my drum set.
Now I'm wondering, are they gonna so tell me what you just told me before about the European tour and how they're gonna mesh it, and so what you heard. This could be inside scoop, baby. Where's the ticker tape? Go ahead.
So there aren't any details out at the moment. It's 2:00 when we're recording, so isn't much time for details right now. But apparently, the PGA European Tour, the main PGA Tour, and Live Golf are all going to be merging together. So what I think it's going to be like is that the Live is going to handle like the European Tour, because the European Tour, nobody watches the European Tour. I mean, do people in Europe even watch the European Tour?
I'll leave it on, and sometimes I'll wake up at like 2:00 in the morning and it'll be on.
Mm-hmm.
But seriously, let's do the mind blown. Ready? Here we go. Boom! Like freaking crazy, man. I can't. And you know what it is? The best part about all this is I can't. I told everybody. I said, dude, trust me. We want like kind of like a head-to-head thing at the end. It's good. It's like the AFC, NFC type of thing. And everybody's like, no, screw that. Purists and purists and purists and purists. And now what are they going to have to say? What are they going to have to say for themselves?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know who I kind of feel bad for, kind of don't feel bad for, Brent? The PGA guys.
I do. They're
especially like
Scotty Sheffield's been holding it down, bro. He deserves.
I don't know. I didn't really hear about Scotty though.
No. I mean like holding it down as holding it down like winning. I don't mean about holding it down with his personality. I mean like he's been coming up.
Like, I feel bad for the guys who missed out and didn't talk like crap on the Live, who like declined it and then missed out on the bag, because those guys are keeping their money and they're allowed to come back to the PGA Tour after the 2023 season.
Dude,
if you are John Rahm, or if you are Rory McIlroy, if you are Ricky Fowler, if you are Justin Thomas, you have to be fuming right now.
They're going like this right now.
You are awesome. We're going to give you all the time in the world, but we're not going to give you any money to bash Liv. Yeah. And then they go behind your backs and merge with Liv, and they go, "Oh, thanks for being so loyal, man." You got to be like, when can I sign with Liv now?
yeah, I don't think so, pal.
Can I sign with somebody else instead?
Oh, man. And you know what's going to happen. I'll tell you, right? It's going to be a long podcast just to grab your popcorn, because we ain't talking about anything else. But sure enough, once the second this gets announced, Phil Mickelson's going to be on this I call it the senior tour, but they call it the Champions Tour, because he's done. He got his money. He can go out and wave to and kiss babies and have fun. But don't you think that
seen Phil Mickelson's Twitter?
No,
it's just so out there. It's just so out there. The first normal tweet I saw was him about Victor Hovland, who is now like everybody's favorite golfer on the tour.
He was.
He's like, oh my God, congrats to Victor Hovland. You totally deserve this. Your work ethic is impeccable. It's the only normal tweet on his page. Go check that out.
Everybody should go check that out. The crazy part about Victor Hovland, I mean, he was just an absolute phenomenal player in his last season of his college career. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you got to watch they have the collegiate end of the year tournament at the Pebble Beach, and he just lit it up. And I'm just talking. And the crazy part is that he has this perpetual smile on his face I don't know if he's actually smiling or that's just he's like kind of like a Joker type of thing. But
I find him very relatable. When Patrick Cantley was taking so long, he was getting frustrated. He was like, he didn't want to be a total like, he didn't want to be a total a-hole about it. But as soon as he would hit, he would just start sprinting down to the green where his shot was.
Well, that's that was funny because Cantlay's like he said like 200 yards back, and Victor Hovland's on the green, and he's in the same foursome. He's waiting for him. He's like, yeah, wait. He's waving him up.
He's already lining up his putt. Trying to give him like signs. He's just like the most relatable guy on the course, I feel.
But dude, just think of how you could just see it. Imagine this right now. Brooks Koepka keeping his $400 million, and he's going to do this when he goes right on the PGA Tour. He's just going to walk right in like, hey, here we go.
It's more like he's going to stand up, go right to Matt Fitzpatrick's desk.
And take a dump. What
do you think about that?
He's going to be like, oh, there we go. Can't get rid of him now.
Oh, what was that? What was it? He's going to pull an Amber Heard.
Man. An upper decker. Oh man. No. We're sitting there now. We're going to get flagged for all bad stuff. But, dude, seriously, think of all the guys. We're
crapping on Amber Heard. Literally.
But think about, like, guys like Brooks Koepka's brother. He ain't playing anymore. You know, like some of these guys on the Live Tour, you know, Pat Perez, he ain't going to make. A lot of these guys are probably going to get cut because you think about it. Are they going to still? They're not going to have a bigger field of golfers. They just can't. They can't. Can't play golf for have a TV time for 8 hours of golf. You know what I mean? I like the Live format to where they all have a shotgun start, and they don't have to all have their names announced and pat themselves on the back and all that crap. I'm kind of done with all that. Just go golf. Like get on. I love the format that they had with on Live, which I hope they adapt, where you can watch pretty much every hole on YouTube. I did like CW's coverage on Live. It was kind of refreshing, but
I think the PGA kind of has that already on. If you go on ESPN Plus, you can follow specific golfers. Yeah, like you can follow every single golf group.
Liv did a much better job with it, though. I think probably because they had more money. Like I said, I was talking to somebody today, and I said, "Oh, well, what was the deal?" And it basically is just money. It's money. It's not. They're not making it to more entertaining for us. They're not combining it because the one's struggling and one isn't struggling. Is that they know if they combine it, they're gonna make more money and with less players too. So you think about it, like none of these guys came out of the blue. Like it was just still the same. The PGA, some guys got a better opportunity, I gotta say. But in the
some guys like Mike Fitzpatrick. Who else? The skinny guy, the
Patrick Fitzmike. No.
I would say even Scotty. I mean, have you heard of Scotty before Liv?
No.
Have you heard of Victor Hovland before Liv?
Well, yeah, I did because he was
on the PGA tour,
but not on the PGA because he's still like
the other guy.
He's a young pup.
Who's the other guy? He's like super skinny. He has blonde hair.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but
I forget who that guy is.
But even like guys like you would think with all those guys leaving, you think Rory McIlroy and Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth, all these guys should have been dominating, and they didn't. And Brooks Koepka went over and he's winning. He's Dustin Johnson did a bunch of top tens, but Dustin, I don't know. I don't even think Dustin Johnson actually likes golf. It's like one of those things, well, I'm good at it. I might as well play. I mean, you ever hear his interviews? That's exactly how he sounds. So, but I got to put my phone on silent. I'm going to get 5 phone calls in a row. But yeah, it's just absolutely amazing me that
Zalatoris is his name.
I mean, like that, even that guy, that one guy I like, Thagala, he should have really stepped up and got an opportunity to win. But the only guy that really stepped up and did his job was Scotty Sheffield and John Rahm, right? I mean,
yeah. Me and Rory had a little bit of a thing there, but I mean, the biggest disappointment I think was probably Jordan Spieth.
Yeah,
Jordan Spieth should have had a career resurgence after all the top guys left.
I agree.
At least after all the live guys left, and just nothing came of it.
And the craziest part is all the PGA guys, and this is something that probably nobody even pays attention or even understands. They've all played these courses before. Brooks Koepka's going out there, and these live guys are playing courses around the world that they've never even seen, touched, played on. You know what I mean? Like none of them played on Trump National. None of them played on the one in Dubai. They never played on.
Nobody's played on a Saudi course or a Singapore course before.
Yeah, and some of these guys got to like cut their teeth on some of these courses because the more they play on it, even Tiger used to be chomping at the bit when he would get to the Masters because he would cut every corner possible and kill everybody until they started moving the tees back. I mean, he had to restructure, the golf course and many other golf courses because of Tiger Woods. And that's the one thing they didn't do for Jack Nicklaus. And I'm not doing the whole Jack versus Tiger. They're both the GOATs of their own time. It's time is different. You cannot go time versus time. You have to go present.
It's the Michael Jordan versus LeBron debate versus like Will Chamberlain.
I mean, I actually got to watch all three of them, and they're all great in their own time. I mean, you can't. It's just it's borderline moronic actually to sit there. But people love the debate. I think they just like to hear themselves talk. Which
I think the worst debate out there, this is a very prevalent in football too, is purists. Purists are the worst. I'm sorry if you're a purist. I'm really not sorry, but I'm sorry I've wasted your time up until now.
Well, that's the thing is, even with purists, like people that say, "Oh, the PGA Tour, the PGA Tour." If you do a look back, it's got an awful track record. Awful. They wouldn't let certain people play. They wouldn't let women into clubs. I mean, it's just terrible. And of course, that just gets swept under the rug like it's no big deal. But
not to mention, like the only way to improve a sport, the only way to improve anything for that matter, is competition. I'm going to give you the perfect example right here. It is a football related thing. You guys know Madden? Everybody knows Madden football. Remember when 2K had a football game? They stopped in 2007. When's the last fantastic Madden game? Probably 2008.
Yeah.
Probably 2008 is their last
basically
Madden game.
Yeah. That's basically
they've been removing features since then.
It's been a roster update. That's all they've been doing is giving you roster updates for $49 for the past whatever, how many years. But you're right. 2K was good. Some years it didn't have the license. I actually have the Sega Dreamcast going right now. I should probably put the 2K on that. And that was of the
2K took over NBA Live too. NBA Live was the big one.
Yeah, NBA Live got.
That's EA Sports. EA Sports is the absolute worst for video games. But I mean, in professional football, it's the same thing. People are NFL purists, and then there's these leagues that are starting up now. I mean, they've always been starting up, but like nobody catches them on because there's NFL purists out there with the USFL and the XFL, and these games they've legitimately put improvements in the rules.
Yeah,
like the kickoffs,
no concussions,
onside kicks. You don't have to do an onside kick anymore.
Not one concussion on special teams this year. That I know for a fact. Not one.
I mean, Brent, you saw some of the XFL games. You thought they were pretty entertaining. I'm a big XFL fan. But
every time Ben DiNucci was on, I just remember Ben DiNucci. And I'm just like, dude, this guy can play, but he's just undersized, and but he's in his zone. And I gotta say, if XFL is the minor league to the NFL, I don't think that's true. I think the XFL can, and it's still the XFL, right?
Yeah, I don't think it'll ever be like what the NFL is. But, I mean, come on, guys. You guys got to be bored of baseball. I mean, this is why you got into golf. Well, baseball sucks.
I still love baseball, but I don't want to sit at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and watch baseball. Now I'll sit there and watch 1 o'clock in the afternoon to watch football. But if I'm watching baseball, I'm never watching the whole game. I'm falling asleep. It's a different kind of game. It's a slower game, and now they tried with the pitch clock, and that's kind of a, I don't think
It
it made
speeds it up by like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
But
big
it
deal.
was already a 3.5, 4 hour game. So now
And
you're only getting 3 hours, 3.5 hours.
and all they did with that extra 30 minutes was drive in, a couple more hundred commercials. So it really was only saving you like 15, 17 minutes, So, and you don't want to hear something. This is a funny statistic, which the Yankees are one of the most watched sports, but on an average game, like the Yankees versus I can't say, but last year I can say because the Orioles sucked last year, but they're better this year. On an average game, like a Yankees Orioles, you know how many people watch that?
I would guess maybe like 200, 400,000 people.
You were close to the first time. It was like 220,000 people watched that on television. Dude, me and you were doing a live and had 185 people watching. I'm like, who the hell am I next to a Yankees?
You had 7K on the one live at one time.
At one time, and that's and the same. It works the same as what the Yankees is if you get somebody to watch it for 3 or 4 minutes, it counts as a watch. Dude, the games are 4 hours long sometimes, and that's not even that's the pregame, the end game. They count that all. They count that all as the broadcast. And you thinking about how many people that just hop in for a quick score check. You know what I mean? I mean, it just blows my mind of how the gears have changed so much, and how
I think one of baseball's main problems. I know we're getting way off topic here, but one of baseball's main problems is how long their season is. If their season were literally cut to like 120 games, their viewership numbers per game would go up.
I agree.
Like they would probably make money on the season. They would probably make more money.
Yeah, and I 100% agree. And this is the crazy part is we're actually not off topic because Liv saw all those issues, and instead of sitting there watching golf for 6 hours a day with one guy teeing off, they condensed it to a 3.5 hour program. People can digest that. I mean, that's what football is. Isn't football like 3 hours long? Isn't that what a game is?
Yeah, it's like 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah, with everything, pregame, after game, commercial.
Yeah, pregame, after game, it gets to like 3.5, 4. Yeah, but
so that's like, and that counts as their, as ratings too. So not if you watch like the, Terry Bradshaw show beforehand, that doesn't count. But my point is that Liv made a complete conscious decision to make sure that they kept the integrity of golf involved by trying to throw in a little innovation and speed it up for guys, like you, because that's the new generation. People don't want to waste their life. I mean, sitting there watching a sporting event, like I don't know.
I might have golf on in the background. It's not going to be the main focus of like what I'm doing all day. Like, could you imagine like pre-gaming for a golf event? You got to start pre-gaming at like 8 a.m. and then you're probably tired by like 4 o'clock.
I couldn't.
But it's still going on for another hour and a half.
Yeah, I know. It's 7 o'clock at night, and I'm eating dinner, and I can't watch the finals. I mean, it's like wrap it up already. And you got to remember too, now that they're going to have the Live Tour, and even if it's the Live Tour and the European Tour, I still think they should keep them separate, but kind of under one thing, if you know what I mean. Like, because like I said,
it's going to be under one banner. It's all going to be under one unnamed banner so far.
But I really think it would be nice on how they do the, all the other leagues like basketball. You have all your Central East, whatever, and then all these guys play against each other. Like, that would be fun because the FedEx Cup, nobody even understands what the hell those points are. They don't even know what the hell's going on, and no one cares about the FedEx Cup. Some guys win a tournament and they give you the tournament thing, and then some other guy that came in like 50th place and gets handed a FedEx Cup in the same tournament. And you're like, what the hell is going on? Like, it's just so weird. And no knock on FedEx. I think they got a great product, and they're, they do a good job with their work and everything, but it's not anything, doesn't do anything. Now, it's nothing like the Ryder Cup. And that's why the ratings are so good for a Ryder Cup, because you're pinning competition, like you said before, against world versus the US, basically, in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Now, I think that's the exact kind of like they should really do like the soccer format. I think the soccer format is perfect for golf. If you guys don't know what the soccer format is, and you guys are like very Americanized like we are, the soccer format they have your regular matches going on all the time, and then you have in-season matchups that contribute towards tournaments. So, like halfway through the year, the final of a tournament is going on, and you guys can receive a trophy. And then 3/4 of the way through the season, you can receive another trophy. And then there's the big like Super Bowl trophy at the end of the year. So the first two trophies don't mean much, but those can be team trophies. Like the Liv should keep the team. I think they should keep like the team. They gotta rename a lot of those teams. Those teams and logos are awful. The only one I think they should
watch
really
our other
keep,
podcasts.
check out our other podcast. The only one they should really keep is the Crushers. That name and logo is the name is kind of questionable, but that logo is fantastic.
Yeah,
that logo is awesome.
It's the screaming ball, right?
No, that's the fireball. The Crushers is the skull and crossbones, but instead of a skull and crossbones, it's a broken golf ball and broken golf tees.
Yeah, kind of like the end of
you're gonna have
my round.
Team tournaments in the middle of the year. So like only like the top teams can like compete for those. So like the top 8 teams can compete for those if you have like 16 teams.
So it's funny you said that. They do in the PGA tried it and has tried it for the longest time, but no one finds it amusing because everybody's like, hey, what's going on? In March, they do that match play. What is it? The Dell match play. Mm-hmm. And it has horrible ratings. Nobody cares about the match play. But I think if you go score and team, it's something that, something a little extra play for, because you might not be doing well. And I know these guys still want to play well, and they're passionate, and they want their team to win. I mean, team events are fun, and it kind of pulls back in like the college thing. College has match play, but it's mostly a team event, and it's by score. And I don't know.
Two teams that I thought had the most chemistry were the Rippers, which is the all Australian team, and then the
with Cam Smith.
Yeah, the Cam Smith team, and then the Kevin Na team, the Irons.
Yeah, I like them. They were always,
because they were like the, I don't want to, how do I say this? Well, it was like the all Asian team. So it was like both of these teams had something in common. Like the other teams were just like the players thrown together, besides like Koepka's team, which has him and his brother as 2 of the 5 guys on the team.
They were playing for their country. It's kind of like I said, the Ryder Cup.
Now, they were playing for like their heritage. And even like the Rippers, they had like the Southern Cross as their logo is what it was. So it was like they had even more to play for, on top of being the first professional golf tournament in like in Australia, which Adelaide, which is what it was.
Dude, they killed it.
They killed it. That's probably when the discussion started. After that point, they were like, all right, we should probably get into the Australian market. They love golf down here.
Dude, and they love to party.
Down under.
They love to party. And when they party, they don't stop. It's like, it's what Dr. Dre says, when it's a West Coast party, it's whatever that song is.
They are awesome sports fans, and they are awesome partiers.
And they're
great people too.
Yeah, when we watched we watched the one where Brooks Koepka's brother had that hole in one.
Chase Koepka, it's the hole in one.
And the crowd went just. I mean, they're probably still talking about it today. Because imagine going there. It's a first time event. Never been to Australia. It's kind of like felt like an outcast, which it shouldn't be. I mean, it's a beautiful land other than the snakes and the spiders.
And like everything else that could kill you, like the birds and the sharks and, the jellyfish. Forget about all that, though. We're talking about golf.
Yeah, that's all. But and the beer cans getting thrown at you when you get a hole in one.
And the caddy picks one up and just chugs the rest of it.
I still can't believe that. I still can't. I think we grabbed that sound bite, but that was just. I mean, it's just one of those things where I just feel that more and more of the PGA is just getting stale, playing at the same courses. Like the waste management is probably one of.
It's definitely stale. Like the only one that people will never get sick of is probably the Masters, just because of like all the history around it.
And I would say the waste management
one is like great. It's the same course again. Like players are going to do well on it. Like it's all tiered to somebody's game.
But you think about
a certain game is going to improve, is going to do awesome on that one course.
But you think about like the waste management. That's actually one of the highest rating viewed and one of the most crowds, and it's in Arizona. And it was just like how it is in Australia. You know, people they don't even have people to say get quiet. The guys are pumping the crowd up to get them louder while they're trying to hit a hole in one. And it's just that is got to be, that's more entertaining than watching a bunch of stiff shirts, you know, walk around and, you know, make, you know, friggin' pars all day. And you know, and they don't need 4 rounds of golf. 3 rounds of golf was better. I think all it is you turn golf into a sprint a little with 3 rounds, but 4 rounds is just a marathon. When these poor guys are there, like on a Monday, and then they're doing a pro-am, and then they're, I mean, give these guys a break, man. These guys, you know,
not to mention these guys, when these guys warm up, they literally hit another round. Hit another round. Oh my God. I'm sorry about that voice crack. They literally, Tiger Woods hits 65 shots to warm up. 65. That's a whole nother round. He's literally hitting 5 rounds.
That's why I never go to the driving range, because I will.
You should only hit like a couple shots, maybe.
Well, it's so funny.
You're probably going to shank your first shot off the tee anyway.
So how funny is this? One of these guys that I know, and they're in New Jersey, but I'm not going to mention them because they didn't invite me either. But doesn't mean that I'm burning any bridges. But they actually thought, and it's not an original idea, it's been around for a while, but a course actually has 19 holes, which I still think 18 holes is too long. I think it should be down like 12 or 13. I think it should be 12, 2 6s. But that's a whole nother story.
We have a 12-hole course by me out here, so
dude, it's so much better.
You got to go play that.
Yeah, we should. Mm-hmm. So the idea of this is that if you go to an 18-hole course, there's 1 extra hole, and it's a short par 4 warm-up hole, and your score doesn't count. Dude, first of all, the one thing that's bad about that is, you know, everybody's going to birdie that hole and it doesn't count, and they're going to be pissed out of their mind. So it's a bad idea to have a warm-up hole. I think we should move it to 6 to 12 holes. You can cut people's time. I mean, nobody.
You know what? I actually think 19 holes is not bad if it's a guaranteed birdie.
Well, you don't count it.
If you do it at the end, they'll be like, "Oh my God, I gotta come back next time. I'll do so much better. I finally figured out what was wrong."
Yeah, but you know that,
it was just way shorter.
You know that warm-up hole is going to be the easiest damn hole on the course. Everybody's going to par or birdie it, and they're all going to say, and what's number 1 rule when you birdie the first hole as an amateur golfer or just a playing for fun? You should leave, because you're going to have a bad round. It's better off you double bogey that goddamn first hole, because then you're like, God, I got to make up, and you concentrate and you focus more. You get the birdie and you're like, the whole entire round you're thinking, well, what did I do on that first hole, and why do I have 15 snowmans and a friggin' 2 doubles and to finish my round?
Oh my God! I did not play the best round this past weekend. Oh my God, it was awful. I had a stretch. I broke my 7-iron on this.
That's horrible. If you get it,
I literally snapped it in half.
Did you break it on purpose?
Well, I threw it against the ground because I got pissed off during this run, and it was like 3 bounces, and then it snapped on the last bounce. I was like, that doesn't even make any sense.
Wow.
But it was a string of holes. It was like 4 of the first 5 holes was a 6, a 7, an 8, a 7, an 8, and a 6.
Wow.
It was like 5 of my first 6 holes.
That's
I was
funny.
like, what the heck?
Yeah, that's not good at all. But but you know what? You don't get to practice a lot. You don't get to play a lot. I mean, even though I don't play a lot, I can still go out there and put up a decent score for not playing a round of golf because I always practice. You know, people, it's not, hitting into a net doesn't help you because you don't know where it's going to go, and you can guess. But once you play a lot and you start to get the feel of your clubs, and if you hit it on the toe, you know where it went. I mean, you can get a simulator. Again, they're nice to have, but they're not the end all. It's nothing like going out and playing a round of golf because you got to deal with having the ball below your feet, above your feet, behind your feet. Like there's no flat
You
line.
deal with people slow in front of you. You
And,
get
and
pissed
then you
off that they're not going fast enough.
And then you got a pace of play thing where you're going fast and you're up one foursome's ass, and then someone behind you is friggin' hitting into you too because their pace of play is fast, and then you got a bunch of foursomes up there that are just slowing everything down, and it's tough, man. And when'd you go on a Friday, right?
Yeah, we went on a Friday.
Yeah, you got to go out like on a Tuesday or yeah, it was Friday. You went Friday. I don't have much going on in my life. I know you went golf Friday.
I don't remember.
Because you went, and then you couldn't do the podcast, and then we couldn't do the podcast on Saturday because you had a graduation party.
No, it wasn't Friday. I went Sunday. Golfing.
Oh, really? Oh, well,
Sunday afternoon, I went golfing.
You know what?
I can't believe it was $56 around a person.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. It's usually like 36 at this course.
Oh,
not to mention the greens were aerated too. $56.
Well,
for aerated greens in an afternoon at like 4:10 tee time.
Yeah, but it's on a weekend.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but weekend they always jack up the price $20. But but I mean the cheapest course to me that I can get on to play in a decent round, it's $149 for 18 holes, and I got to drive an hour south. So, I mean, it's just insane, man. I mean, I just looked up something the other day about Pennsylvania and New Jersey. They had a thing about Amazon drivers. It just popped because I do Amazon affiliate sales, and it popped up on a thing looking for Amazon drivers in your area. In Pennsylvania, where Christian school is,
yeah, in Bethlehem,
$18 an hour. In my area, $22.50. Whoa, why the difference?
That's crazy.
I mean, it's $4.50 more just because you're in New Jersey. I mean, the gas is actually more expensive in Pennsylvania, and you got to drive further to each house.
Yeah.
So it makes no sense whatsoever. But anyway, back to the Live Tour. I'm pretty excited. I can't wait. I kind of I like the controversy. I like this discussion. We're going to kind of lose that. I hope they keep the integrity of the Live Tour a little bit and kind of mesh it in and make it kind of like a division, like each person has their own division. And I think
that would definitely be nice. Like you said it first, the Live PGA Super Bowl kind of thing.
That would be great.
Be awesome.
Well, this is the thing. You can even do it. So this would be perfect. You have the PGA Tour, which would be the United States exclusively. And then you have the European Tour, which can totally stay. But you should have an East Asia Tour. You should have India, China, Japan, Philippines, and Australia. Like, dude, how freaking awesome would that be?
Even throw New Zealand in there. I'm sure you could get a New Zealand course or two.
There's your 4 divisions. And you know how huge golf would grow in those countries? More than it is already now. Like, because it's all new and exciting, and they got Greg Norman's he walks on water in Australia. I mean, look what they did. Cam Smith won. I mean, it was like a party for the guy, and it's just I like.
They literally threw a rager for him. Like he showed up on the EDM guy stage.
It was awesome, and that's my point. And kids were growing their hair out, like and putting fake mustaches on. That's the kind of stuff you need to promote. You don't need, like, the Masters is just getting I had the best naps ever watching the Masters because I know what hole's next. I know where they're going to hit it. I know where the pin positions are. It's the same thing every year. We need to fire some executives to get some fresh blood in there. You know what I mean? I mean, these guys they're older than, they got 1 foot in the grave and 1 foot on the banana. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, what do you think? What would you want to see changed about the PGA Tour with this new, conglomeration, or at least idea or discussions of a conglomeration?
Well, I would love to see the I would like to see the mid-season trophies, because I know the NBA is picking them up next year. So I think it's really going to grow in the coming years. At least the interest of it, because more people in America will understand what a mid-season tournament is, because I know they don't really understand, because Americans just don't watch the Premier League. They just don't watch European soccer unless you're a diehard soccer fan.
No,
I don't even watch it. I just understand it because some of my friends are huge soccer fans.
yeah, well,
And then I would love the teams to stay. I think teams are great. I do wish it would be more like the Ryder Cup all the time, though.
yeah,
It would
we gotta have that would be, and that's what I'm saying. With, if you had the 4 divisions, of course the PGA Tour would have, and live in the PGA Tour would have the most stacked. But you got to be kidding me! You know how much in 10 years it could be a total flip, and that's what they got to look for in the future. Like I had my daughter played golf, and she loved going to the driving range. She loved going to the Top Golf. She liked to play, hitting the balls into the net. And then when she went to go play on the high school varsity team, she's like, "This sucks. It's too long. It's too." Yeah.
I mean, what they should have is during the Ryder Cup, they should have an all-star weekend. They don't even have to have an all-star match. The Ryder Cup can be the all-star match. They have to have skills challenges. Screw it, partner with Topgolf so you can get the most points. I mean, try and do the coolest trick shot or something. There aren't much. Who can make the longest putt?
I really think they should have each guy from the Live Tour team, and they have to go to Vegas and do some of those challenges at Topgolf. Dude, it would probably, because you got to remember too, the one thing that's cool, and they never did it, but Dubai has a golf course that has lights, because it's also 150,000 degrees in Dubai. You can't play golf in the middle of the day, so to extend that, they have their lights. And again, they got as much gasoline they could burn a generator, they just poured the gasoline in the ground for all they care. They don't care. It's a penny a gallon. But but playing some of these courses at night and having these live events, even just the ones that they had I thought it was entertaining. I just think they should have had a couple more players, even with Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers and Tiger Woods and his son. And those got good ratings.
They could definitely have some more celebrity golfers.
Yeah, and I think the PGA
Tour have some guy Charles Barkley is one of the worst golfers I've ever seen in my life. He's one of the worst golfers, but that video went viral because he's so bad.
Yeah,
you can have a few guys. You got to pay them a decent amount to embarrass themselves.
Yeah. Well,
but I mean, come on, get a few more guys who suck, who have never picked up a golf club in their life, and just let's see how they do. I mean, what was the one guy, the guy who played for the Giants? He did it one time, where he was talking about how he was so great at golf, and they put him on TV. The D-end, the defensive end. Lawrence Taylor.
Oh God,
they had Lawrence Taylor on TV one time. He shot 120. 125.
That's
talking about how he's a scratch golfer.
I've seen him play live. He played with Arnold Palmer in a pro-am once, and he almost killed a few people.
They had to literally take the camera off of him.
Yeah,
it's a whole program sponsored around Lawrence Taylor, and they had to take the camera off him. He was so bad.
But Eli Manning and Peyton Manning went out one time too. I think Eli won. It's just it's just other entertainment, and you don't even always need it to be on television. There's a bunch of guys out there that are doing really well. I don't know if you saw it. I don't really follow the guys that good golf thing, but they somehow got Ricky Fowler to come play with them, and they played like a scramble. That. Oh, did you see it? And Ricky Fowler almost hold it from 220 out. You know,
and then you can have. I mean, we could have a halftime report or an intermission report of the Get Back to Golf intermission report. I mean,
slide that right in there.
Halftime show for the NBA. We can have that, except it's Brent and Colin.
Yeah, and Charles Barkley. Yeah, and Charles Barkley as our guy. I tell you, he's awesome. When they did those events, and it's always just
Phil Mickelson is the fourth person.
Yeah, but the thing is Charles Barkley's got such a good personality and such a good person. He's such a good person and personable to these celebrities as well. So when they're badgering each other, they're actually technically kind of like friends. So you know what I mean? It's fun to watch that. And they, and Charles Barkley actually has gotten a lot better, which I don't know. It's not much better, but at least he got rid of that. He had that thing where he would go all the way down and hit. I mean, it was just terrible for as great of an athlete and basketball player as he is. It just obviously never translated to golf, It's just hilarious. But these guys, I mean, they got the world wanting to entertainment. They just have to get out of their own way. And I really think it's a lot of older guys. And I'm not that old, not old compared to these guys are, old. They're retired.
Celebrity golfer, Get Back, Brent.
Right. I'd look. I'd probably put one right into the crowd too on the first hole. I'd have to get a sponsor with Depends undergarments. I'd be so nervous. That would be crazy. But yeah, sir. No, well, I don't even.
The new the birdie shorts.
Yeah, I need maybe rubber shorts. But yeah, so I mean, people don't even realize that some of these guys, like a Brooks Koepka, Brooks really wants to win, and you could see it. And I know what set him back was that injury. Because he was constantly just overdoing it with his workouts. You can even see he slimmed down. Rory McIlroy used to be, all buff. He slimmed down. These guys, getting those gym muscles are not going to help. Bryson DeChambeau, I mean, in 1 year, he gained like 40 pounds of muscle. I mean, the guy was, it hurt him because he got
3 or 4 months too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean,
we probably know what he was doing, but.
Well, they don't check for that, but that's a whole nother story.
I'm not gonna accuse anybody of doing anything, but I'm just saying those numbers don't add up.
The crazy part about all of it is that will they stop? Because Liv did not stop that. Will they stop the CBD sponsors? Because that PGA was a big no.
I think what's gonna happen is that the Liv guys, like their technical team and like their behind the scenes guys, are going to be working on the PGA Euro Tour to try and grow it over there, because they realized that they did a really good job of growing it in some places. Like, I realized they didn't have a huge following in like the US, but they did have a huge following in the Middle East and Asia, where these places did not have like golf. Like, professional golf was not in these places.
No.
Like, Australia is the big one.
Yeah, that was epic. I mean, that sold it right there. I mean,
the only places in Europe that I can even think of off the top of my head that play golf are the British, is like former British places, like like England, Ireland, and Scotland. They're the only 3 places I know of that play golf. I mean, you got France out there. France could be such a huge place for golf.
Yeah.
France, and especially Spain. Spain and Portugal would be huge into golf.
Yeah,
It's nice, like all year round there. I'm pretty sure.
John Rahm, they love John Rahm, but I mean, everybody in Spain still thinks Seve Ballesteros is on the tour. I mean, they don't. And
the other guy they have is like Sergio Garcia, I think. I mean, is he even Spanish? Or like Mexico could probably be big, although I don't know about that.
Yeah, they tried so many times in Mexico. I don't know. I don't know.
I think, but I think places like France could be huge into golf. Like Italy, and Greece.
Yeah.
They could be huge into golf as well. Like anywhere along the Mediterranean.
Well, think about
awesome.
even just in like Japan and like some of the courses. I know the courses are very short and small, comparison to the yardage of in the U.S. because they just don't have the room. They don't have the area. But Australia has the area. They have the courses.
Mm-hmm.
India has the area. They can build tons of new courses. I mean,
China has whole deserts that could be turned into golf courses.
China would be kind of. I mean, I don't know. What with even just getting, but like I know a lot of. Like, just think of, remember the Olympics where they had to all get vaccinated for some kind of crazy thing, and a lot of the PGA Tour guys said, "Well, I'm not going to play the Olympics." And Ricky Fowler was the first one to say, "Well, I'll get the vaccination. I'll go play. It's a once in a lifetime thing to play for my country." And what did that do? Stock of Ricky Fowler went up even more than he always did. He's just that kind of guy. He's just that guy. Like, you know what, whatever. If it kills me, whatever. I'm out there playing for my country. And he did really well. He got a little tattoo of the Olympic thing right on his arms. He's got that forever. And he's proud of it. And, like, think about it. Like, you have Brazil and all those, Venezuela, all those countries down there that are primarily football, which is soccer for us.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no reason why the plane can't go from there to Ireland, can't go to Brazil. I mean, it is what it is.
I think Brazil would be a huge one.
Yeah,
Argentina would be another one.
And they love, and the Brazil loves golf because Brazil has those resorts. I don't know if you ever seen some, and the Europeans love to go to Brazil. I mean, it's like they go for those, this basically everybody's naked in a party with paint on themselves. And
they know how to party down there.
They know how to party. And there ain't no party like a West Coast party. That was what I was trying to say before. I knew it would come around full circle. But that whole area and the beach and just it's just incredible, and how we don't get to see it, and we're stuck watching the same courses over and over. And that's why I think they should live the way it is. Don't have a heavy schedule, but go and travel a little more distance. The PGA,
I think they should get rid of most of their American tours. I think.
I
think they should keep like some of them that like aren't like used.
Well,
they should keep like the Trump National one.
Yeah, that one did really well.
Florida that they had, and then maybe like the one in Tulsa. I don't know, whichever the third one is that did the best.
Yeah, like literally,
it should be like 3 stops, and then you get to see the rest of the world.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Make it like a tour, a real tour, like a tour around the world. They call it Live World Tour, and I mean,
it was a world tour. Their tour is a world tour. They go from Singapore to Tulsa, Oklahoma, to Florida, to Australia, to somewhere in Europe. I don't remember where.
Yeah, and where does the PGA have one? PGA has like one event in Mexico that nobody watches, and nobody
event in Canada, and then they have one event in Britain.
Yeah, and then one in Hawaii, towards the winter.
But that's America still. So.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, it's somewhere that's at least they got to get in and travel, but it's not much of a world tour. But I would love to see. I mean, Japan and China, they would kill to go watch these guys play because they can't hit the ball like that, and that's what's the most important. I'm not saying that we can any better. The thing is when you go watch these events and you see these guys play, and then you go, oh yeah, I suck at golf. It's just these guys are the 0.0001% of the tenths of 100% of the best in the world. I mean, it's just hard. And these guys don't, they're at it every day. Brooks likes it because he likes the 3 days. He even said that a million times. He says there's no reason for us to be playing 4 days in a row. Give us some time with our family. Make us want things more instead of just being on the road and sleeping on a John Daly at the end of his career bought a bus and brought his family with him because he's like, no, I want to hang out with them, and I'll take a bus. And it was awesome. And you know what he did? he drank and tailgated like at 8:00 in the morning.
I mean, he is one of the most fun people.
Yeah.
If there were a list of celebrities I were to hang out with, I mean, John Daly would definitely be probably number one, if maybe number two on that list.
Yeah, ice cream and beer. If you like that combination, man, it's John Daly. That's what he should have that's what he should call his shop, beer and ice cream or something. Ice cream. There we go. I got it. He can call it ice cream on tap. There you go, John. Just gave you a freebie, bro. I know you're listening, so I know my beard isn't as big as yours, but yeah,
you don't get the luscious flow of a mullet that he does. But
yeah, I know. And plus I gotta get a haircut soon. But man, I don't know. You got any final words?
I look like Wolverine.
Nice. You kind of look like Jack Human a little bit.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Like
Hugh Jackman. That's it. I got it backwards.
Hugh Jackman. Hugh.
I went backwards. I said Jackman Human.
Hugh Jackman.
All right. You got any last final words? You want to talk about sponsors and maybe I don't want to spill the bean on the future sponsor, but
we got somebody looking at us.
We got somebody. We just got to ink the deal. So, and that's pretty much my fault. So, but
Brent and I are affiliate sponsors. So, I mean, if you can support us monetarily, we so much appreciate it. Like, we really don't have words to appreciate, to show our gratitude to you. But there are deals down there. So if you use us specifically, you will get discounts on what you buy. But even if you cannot support us monetarily, just clicking the like button, subscribing, following, I mean, putting us on your watch later, it doesn't matter. That all helps out. Leaving a comment especially helps out.
Yeah, share with a friend.
Sharing, it all helps immensely. Like, you don't realize how much it helps. Mm-hmm.
So okay,
we
that's it.
Just want to say thank you for doing that real quick.
Yeah, thank you everybody for the support. We've Colin's been doing some work overtime behind the scenes, getting us on every single platform known to man, and I think he's accomplished that.
We just need iHeartRadio and TuneIn /Alexa.
Nice.
Although we have TuneIn is Alexa /TuneIn is coming, but iHeartRadio may take some time.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't listen to iHeartRadio anyway. So anyway, I'm Brent from Get Back to Golf. My partner, Colin from.
I'm Colin from Slam Master Golf, and this is the Get Back to Golf podcast, yo. Peace out.
See you soon.